Also, I like your coasters.
Thank you.
We also have coasters.
They're like my business cards. Like I wanted a round business card.
Yeah.
I didn't want a square one.
I love it.
So I was like, right, how can I make my business cards round?
Let's
get some coasters.
We have Horny for the End of the World coasters, and people just take them as souvenirs.
Yeah,
they're like, I like these.
I'll keep that. Yeah, and you can keep that one. You can keep
I
that
can?
one.
All right,
yeah, of course
I will.
you can. So thank you so much for joining me.
Oh my gosh.
We're going to do this.
Thank you for
We
having
did this before we started recording. Pronunciation of your name, please tell me.
Tatienne.
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 Thank you so much for joining me,
Oh my gosh,
Tatienne.
thank you.
I loved your show the other night. I enjoyed it so much. What a thrill ride. It was it was a journey that we went on, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And I wondered at some points, is this a true story?
No.
No.
It's based on like real feelings. I feel like I've been joking with like my team because my entire PR, I did like 3 like online interviews, and all my online interviews I was dumped before the pandemic, and it felt like the world was ending, and I was so focused on this guy, and like the circumstances of which were very different. I'm definitely not the character that I play, but I remember just being in this very like precarious time in history when everything was really scary, and I had just been dumped, and I don't know whether it was like this, like distraction, but I could not stop focusing on this dude. Like, I was not focused at all on the pandemic. I was just like always bringing him up to everybody. I was like living at my parents' house, and I was like talking to my parents about it because it's lockdown.
Yeah, of course.
And I would like call my friends, and I would like want to talk about, and I could just feel myself boring everyone to fucking tears. And I hated myself. Like, I knew I was doing it, and I just like couldn't make myself
That's
stop.
really interesting. So that's where, because it felt so honest.
Yeah.
And that's why I was like, well, of course this isn't like a true story, because the world is not ending.
Actually ending.
It's not actually ending. But at the same time, I was like, I believe you. I believe that you're pissed off about this, that you're obsessed about these guys, and that is your main focus of attention. So that's really interesting that you took that moment that did feel like the end of the world for a lot of people.
Yeah.
But yeah, we somehow got wrapped up in other distractions at the same time.
Yeah, and I think it is human to spiral. Basically, I think everybody is capable of spiraling, and I kind of see the character like Ebeth as like the embodiment of spiraling.
Yeah.
But a lot of people think that she's me, and so I try to like separate that as much as humanly possible, because I really would not want to be.
But is that not something as humans that we go through? We all
definitely is.
We all have spiraling moments, don't we? That it's hard to get out of. And I guess at the end of the world moment, even then, it's maybe we're looking for distraction as well. When there's something so big going on in the outside world, then maybe we're forcing that we want to escape into something.
And like romantic attachments are the best way to escape. Because they're very consuming. And I mean, like, it does kind of feel like the world is ending. I feel like everybody is making that joke. I mean, like, if you go on the Royal Mile, like, all of these shows are like end of the world something. And I think it is, we're at this time in history where, like, it's scary. We have like the Trump administration, and everything is just sort of misery. There's war all around, and we're all like focused on these really petty distractions. And then we have these moments of like utter despair, but we're living in a world of distraction. Like, you think of TikTok and all of the stuff, and Instagram. Yeah. And I think that's very much what the show is about. Yeah,
I think you're right, that this world at the moment, it feels quite dark for a lot of people. I went to see a show the other day where the audience got to interact with the person on stage about their fears, and that was what was coming out. This thing of like, the world is absolutely falling apart, but yet we're here trying to create some art. Is there something to that?
Yeah, I mean, like, I think there are like the two mindsets. I have a friend, Zach, in New York, and I remember we were talking, and I was like, it feels kind of like the world is ending. I don't remember when this is. I think this was like before I even started doing this as a stage play, but I was talking to him and I was like, it feels like the world is ending. So like, why am I so focused and care so much about like my acting career? And like, you know, and he's like, well, you're focused on the wrong things. And I do, you know, I am kind of like a chronically negative person, I would say. And he was like the world is ending, so we got to do like Three Sisters right now because this is the fucking moment.
See, you say that you're a chronically negative person, that you go towards that. But I wonder if that's like society and the world around us is trying to drive us that way. Is it, you see the news every day? It's fed to us negativity.
I actually actively avoid the news
Do you?
because I'm so like I will just like fall down the pit.
Mm-hmm.
Like my mom and my brother are very like newsy people, and they're just like depressed all the time. And I'm like, I know I have the exact same capability of being exactly like those two people. So
it's not healthy to go there, is it? It's not good. It's not like good for us.
I mean, it's necessary sometimes, I know, but like I just living in that state of like constant despair all the time is not necessarily for me.
So how have you found theatre has helped you escape that then?
I just think it is the ultimate escape, I think. You know, I was like a very outgoing child, and then I got bullied a lot. And I remember, like, I went to this camp, and I was extremely bullied. I was homeschooled. It was like a whole thing. I was, and it was like a performing arts camp, and I remember I got this like big part that I had never gotten a part so big before, and I remember I just like taking over the stage in this like big way, and I think I felt so small, and it was just like this huge relief to like be in front of all these people and to take up that space and to be capable of like making everyone laugh and like forgetting who I was for a minute and like being this entirely new person that was fucking fabulous. And I think I just loved that feeling so much. And I mean, like, obviously things are very different for me now, but it's still like, I mean, people call it different things, the flow. I always felt like it was some sort of like, I'm not a religious person, but it felt like some kind of like religious experience of just like being so invested in what's going on in stage and being able to forget yourself entirely. And yeah, it's escapism. Like, I think everyone loves it for that reason. Well, I mean, I think people love it for different reasons, but I think the people who I have always like really respected and the people whose art I love, I think view it in a similar way, or not in a similar way as me, but like it's the same feeling, but they describe it in a different way, or they think of it in a different way.
Tell me a little bit more about the flow state, because I love the flow state.
Yes.
I'm always seeking it. I'm always looking. That's where I fell in love with acting.
Yeah.
When I went there for the first time, and occasionally I don't go there when I've been acting as well. I can't always find it.
I remember, like, I was like, when I went to drama school, I was like, you know, really precocious, and like I was homeschooled, and like I really thought I knew better than everyone, and I was like, who are you? You're not my mom. Like, you can't tell me what to do. And I was like, well, sometimes I'm in the flow state, and sometimes I'm not in the flow state. So I just want to go to school so I can always be in the flow state. And obviously school didn't do that for me, because sometimes you're in it and sometimes you're not. But I totally know what you mean.
How do you find it? Do you find it now? Do you know a way that you're finding yourself in there?
I think it's rarer as an adult for me to be like completely and totally in the flow. I think I have those moments.
Yes.
And I go kind of like in and out of flow, if that makes sense.
Yeah. I think for me.
But I do hit it. I hit a stride sometimes.
I think for me, I come out of flow when I start to think too much. When the inner monologue starts to creep in, and I allow that inner monologue, almost the inner monologue, particularly when it's being judgmental, particularly in those moments of, you don't know what you're doing, Martin. like where the hell are you? What happens next? And you try and assess the situation too much. That's when I break from flow.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's accurate.
Yeah.
For me as well.
So it's quieting down that inner monologue
Yeah.
can help us find it, I think.
Yeah, and I think, you know, this particular Fringe environment, I don't know if you're talking to other artists about this, I'm sure you are, but it's like there's so much noise around, and it's really hard to quiet the inner monologue, and when you can, it's like a really fucking beautiful thing. When you can just be like, I'm here in this moment and everything is just okay, and I can just focus on what I'm doing. That's a beautiful thing.
Yeah, and there's a lot of, you come to something like this, and I think you find a lot of there's shoulds. You should be doing this.
Yes.
You shouldn't be doing that.
Fuck yeah.
And that's kind of, that's that judgmental thing that comes in. So you say fuck yeah, like what are the shoulds and shouldn'ts that you've experienced here at the Edinburgh Fringe?
I think it's like, you know, you receive an email like every day being like, here are all the events you could go to and all the things that you should be doing. And you're like, oh, well, I already promised like 4 people I would see their shows.
Yes, yeah.
And so you literally cannot do it all. And I think making peace with, I mean, this is my first Fringe.
Right, okay.
And I feel like it is going well, but I just feel like there's always more I could be doing, and because I am that person that is always a little bit like, oh, you should be, like, it eats away at me like a little bit.
Yeah, and it takes a lot of time and I think practice as well to be like, I'm okay with what I'm doing right now.
Yeah.
And I'm doing this. Maybe you're here for you, rather than all the other things that are going on. Is that? And there's nothing wrong with that.
That's accurate.
Yeah. And I found that myself here as well, that I'm being pushed and pulled in a lot of different directions. But I find it so much better for me and for everyone else if I just go with the flow a little bit more and just go where I want to be going and where I need to be going as well.
Yeah, I definitely need to hear that right now.
Oh, good. And I think, it takes time to discover that.
I think if I like go next year, I just think this is such a learning experience, and it is a real learning experience. Like, I'm learning so much, but I think next year, or like whatever time I'm going back, I will know more what it's like and be ultimately that much more prepared to just like listen to myself.
Yeah, it's definitely, I think you come to something like this to learn.
Yeah.
Not to, like, I think there's quite a few people that come here with an expectation of achievement.
Yeah.
Like, this is the thing that break me. This is the thing that's gonna make me. This is the thing, this is the big moment. But actually, this is like learning for it. And maybe, you're right, next year is where you can be like reflecting on this year and going, these are some of the mistakes I made, and these are some of the
things I could do
the
better.
wins. These are the wins that I had. But so tell me a little bit about your expectations then before you came here. What were your thoughts and feelings about the Edinburgh Fringe?
I think.
It's too hard to say to get it through.
I mean, they were. I want to say they were basically accurate to what the experience is. I was like, it's going to be great. Like, everyone, I had like met up with like a couple people who had done Fringe, and I was like, what is it like? And they were like, can I swear? I'd already swear.
We already swear.
We already swear. But, okay, cool. But they were like, it's a shit show. Like, it's terrifying. It's amazingly rewarding, and like horrible at the same time, and you're gonna like face ups and downs, and you don't even know what's gonna happen, and like you're gonna have like 50 people at your show one night and like 0 people at your show another night, and and I definitely think like the highs and lows are like, it's like a fucking roller coaster, but I think, you know, expecting it or being like, you need to prepare yourself, Tatienne, for like it's going to be really intense, and then like living it and coming and like immediately getting sick, and then I've literally never done this many shows in a row in my life, and now I'm on my 9th show and it's at 11:15 at night.
I'm thinking about it. I'm thinking about this roller coaster thing. Like, would you actually want it any other way? Like,
no.
If someone was to say to you, come to Edinburgh Fringe, and it's just like it's just like a nice country ride. Do you know what I mean? Like, but a roller coaster, like there's thrill in that, right?
Yeah.
The ups and the downs and the struggles. Like, I think that's something to look forward to.
It is. And it's also really cool to see like your friends succeed and to see them go through the same things that you do and like to be there cheering them on. Like my friend Michael is doing his show and he just got this amazing review and I'm just like, fuck yeah, Michael, like we're co-promoting, you get a great review, I get a great review. Yeah. And we're like running around the streets being like, come see our Toxic Men plays. Like, that's really fun. I love that shit.
And I think that's something that's really special within the arts, that I think a lot of us are trying to help each other up, that we're not trying, there is a bit of competition in the arts. Yeah. We all want our own personal goals for achievement, but I see a lot of people like reaching each other's hand and saying, come this way and I'll help you out. Mm-hmm. Have you found that connection here?
I have, yeah. I think I've found both, where it's like, you know, some people are like very much like, this is my show and like my and then, but it kind of makes the moments where you like meet someone and you're like, oh, this feels like so, like I would just be friends with you.
Yes,
and like we can be especially vulnerable because we're both in this situation together, and like getting to meet those people and then see their work and having their work be like fucking phenomenal. Like you did an interview with Claudia.
Yes.
That's
who I'm seeing next, straight after this.
Her show, to me, is like, it's so beautiful. And I met her and I was like, I connected with her and I was like, oh, I bet her art is phenomenal. And it totally was. And just like getting the experience of like meeting new artists and seeing their like very original.
And you didn't know her
works.
Before the Fringe?
And I didn't know her before the Fringe, no.
No,
yeah.
no, and I think the connections that I see happening here, they're ones that stick.
Yeah.
They're ones that stay. Do you have any idea why that might be?
Trauma bonding. Trauma bonding!
But it's good though, right? We're finding our community, we're finding our tribe, even if that is through like the trauma that we've been through.
Yeah.
And the way that we've found to release that as well.
Well, I think it's like why you're really good friends with like the people you went to like college with, or the people you went to like really intense like conservatory programs with, or like intense like summer programs with. It's because like that shared experience of intensity is very bonding and it is very special, and like having something that you can relate to with a person that like not a lot of other people can relate to is a very like special and like, yeah, it's a special bond. I don't know.
So now that you're here, and you got the advice from others before you came, what advice would you give now to others?
I would be like, work your ass off, like really flyer, and then I would also say, but like make sure you do fun things every day. Like make sure you're enjoying yourself. I think that's
soak up the experience.
Soak up the experience and like really make sure that you do something fun and like at least 2 things just for you, kind of as we were talking about before. Daily. Yeah.
And so what have you been doing for you then?
I've been going to see the shows and I've been like connecting with like, I think I've like ran into people that I like worked on a show with like a couple years ago. Like I did a production of All's Well That Ends Well like 2 years ago, and the guy that played Parolis is here and he came to my show, and it's so late, but we got it like after my show, but we got a drink and it was just like lovely reconnecting with him. And then I have like that happening again today with this girl Emma, and I think like that's kind of how I relax, is like I'm just like, let's, you know, get a drink and chill and bond and talk and reconnect, and I love that.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so you've found people that you know from back home here.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah. It's bringing it's bringing people together, isn't it? The Edinburgh Fringe.
Yeah.
For sure. So I like to do this sometimes. I like to do a bit of a hypothetical.
Okay.
Okay. So if we were like in a time machine.
Okay.
And we went back to when you were young, and we went back to like that summer school where you discovered stage for the first time. But you got to pick up that younger version of yourself and bring her here. And maybe she's sitting at the coffee table with us. What advice would you have for her?
I think I would have to do the obligatory, it gets so much better.
yeah.
Because she was having a rough time. And I think oh my God, that's a tough one. I don't know. I would be just really focus on the things that you love. I think that would be the thing that would be the most important thing to say, is really, really focus on those things. And I don't know, because we've been talking about this the whole time, but the drowning out of the noise and focusing on yourself and doing the things that make you happy. I think I would just encourage that and be bad times aren't forever, they're just good times are ahead, and keep making people laugh, keep doing your thing. It's really important. Yeah.
And you're doing your thing now.
And I am. I'm doing my thing.
You're doing your thing now.
So I actually did follow my own advice.
You did, yeah. Well done. You listened. So thank you so much for sharing. It's been a joy. Where can we find your show if someone hasn't caught it already? Where is Horny for the End of the World?
Horny for the End of the World at the Space at Surgeons Hall. We're on until the 18th at 11:15 p.m. and then we switch to 11:30 p.m. So catch us late night.
Wonderful. Well, thank you so much. I really appreciate you sharing. And if anyone has been watching or listening, thank you for joining us for this conversation. Thank you. Wonderful. Thank you.
Thank you.
That was good.